crazy in the brain. So here we go then. Let's give you a rundown of the teams for nFaculty on the blue side. Fami on Soraka, Zimmy on Urgot, Gibfudchen on Warwick, Soraka bot on Mundo. Wow, that was quick. And no equal on Ryze. Over on the other side, it is Akaizo on Twisted Fate, Blood Dragon on Nocturne, Intox on Janna, Sleazy Weezy on Shen, and of course Severus on AD Kennen.
So here we go. Who is your money on Joe Miller?
Boy, that's a real tough one. I love this logic setup, to be honest with you. If it all works out for them, in terms of they can coordinate this properly, I think they could end up running away with a bit of a lead. We've seen one Twisted Fate today. I watched a Twisted Fate Messiah, actually, for World Elite on in the first week of Go for LOL Pro Asia, and to be honest, I'm a Twisted Fate fan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a Twisted Fate fan.
He always pulls off fantastic ganks. And it's one of those things you're like, oh, I'll go do that myself. And you always pour into the wrong spots and just like get left. And the rest of the team's already turned and walked away while you're pouring in. You're like, oh, crap. It's not going to work well. logiX on the invade here. We've not really seen a big invade today. And they are looking towards maybe going for the red. I think they will realise they were spotted off early. They are going to ward up towards those wraiths. Maybe get a steal on there. Severus and Intox could stick around and maybe try and cause a problem for them. Personally, I'm probably thinking logiX. I'd like to think nFaculty because I think they've played very well. logiX have come into this one certainly as the strong favourites, though 9-0 in the groups, pretty solidly throughout the knockout stage, although they did get very much one-sided stomped in that first match. Yep. So nFaculty will have watched that. They would have seen it. They'll realise what's happened. And Severus is going to walk straight into this bush, and then Zimmy is sat ready and waiting for them, puts a bunch down onto him, gets a couple of hot shots off, and very nicely causes him half hit points. I think he might have to port back, Doesn't want to really stick around. No, he's going to stick around and just health pot his way through it. He has got Janna with him, and there is the health pot running. Zimmy's going to catch him out here. They've got that ward there. They know he's still stood in that bush. They've got his complete vision caught out. I mean, they're going to try and land another shot as he walks back in there. Doesn't quite land it, though, and they will cover themselves off. So here you are with the lanes, as you can see them laying out. Zimmy, Fami, that is going to be Urgot and Soraka as the AD carry and support against Severus and Intox, which is Kennen, and Janna as the AD Kennen down the bottom lane. In the middle lane, it is going to be no equal on Ryze, the big purple blob on your screen. And Akioso on Twisted Fate throwing out those cards. The Trickster. I guess what's he based on? It's what's that card character? It's one of the DC Comics guys anyway. I'll certainly already. I'll remember what he's based on.
Gambit.
Gambit, that's the one. See, you do know what I meant. Gibfudchen, though, up the top does take down Warwick. And, of course, it is going to be Sleazy Weezy on Shen. So, interesting lineup straight away at the top there. Sleazy Weezy is going to be AFK farming for a long time during this game and really helped that split push so well in the third game. And honestly, Gibfudchen's going to have to keep him very honest. In the jungle, you can see it is going to be Blood Dragon on Nocturne. Picked up the blue already. He is going for the red. Took a peek towards that bush as well. Was very wary of where the opposition jungler has gone. There he is. Mundo shows himself. And a little poking towards Akioso. Has already got the double buff because, well, Mundo is a very, very quick jungler. And you can see coming back again, causing problems. Pings go down saying, yep, we know where he is. You're free to roam free.
Yeah, and actually Akaizo there used his flash to get away from them. I think he was a little bit too overcautious with that one right from the very start. But still, I guess at this level, grand final and all that, better to be safe than sorry, that's for sure. And let's have a look quickly at the this very early CS between these two players here in middle. Ryze 16 to the 14 of Twisted Fate. Very, very even stuff, of course. I'm going to keep my ear on Blood Dragon because he is headed up towards the top. And Gibfudchen, I tell you what, he's fairly heavily pushed out. He's going to start to work his way in here. Sleazy Weezy needs to... Wow, Blood Dragon actually walked away for a second there. And I think Sleazy Weezy called that one off before Blood Dragon actually, did anything, to be quite honest with you. We saw him turn off to the right and then try for the fear and blah, blah, blah. Maybe he thinks that Blood Dragon now is going to go away, but look at the confidence of Gibfudchen. He's just going to walk straight in there. This fear is going to proc onto him. It keeps him running in the direction of the turret, and again, Sleazy Weezy not interested. He just wants that farm up at this top. And yeah, as you said, we've seen Sleazy play already a very strong Shen up in this top lane. Meanwhile, bottom, Zimmy on Urgot causing normal Urgot problems. Once he lands that E onto you, if you don't dodge that, well, you're not dodging his next 2 or maybe 3 Qs if you're unlucky. And that's something that they're going to keep pushing out here. And Severus, again, taking a couple of hits from it.
Indeed, and sorry, apologies to all comic book fans. It was Marvel, not DC. I wouldn't want to deeply offend you because I know how deep them things run for those guys. It's Severus, they're getting caught out again by Zimmy there. Zimmy got no mana, though, to follow it up with any more Qs, which is why Severus is starting to be a little bit more aggressive. Has used all the health pots up there, so only just got those boots left now. So meanwhile, Zimmy has got 2 health pots, only just using the first one. So Severus, of course, coming into it, half hit points. So he's caused himself a few problems here. I think he's going to push this lane and probably go back shortly afterwards. Keep an eye on that top lane again. Sleazy Weezy having a little debate with Gibfochen, just sort of saying, yeah, I can beat you and then you can beat me and we'll just hit each other and I'm going to wait for my passive to kick in. You just lifesteal a little bit. Not a great deal going on, honestly, between those two. It's going to be a very much an abstaining thing. Soraka, though, coming down that bottom with that corporate briefcase and mobile phone in hand. I remember when mobile phones were that big. That's how old I am. I can certainly remember. And he is just going to stroll his way back towards the top lane. Keeping my eye again, so Gibfochen continuing to be harassed. Down to half health, got to be careful. Got no ward placement. I tell a lie. He's got a ward beautifully placed in that tri-bush. Sees Nocturne go past and backs off, but realises Nocturne has gone south and continues to just farm away in that middle lane. So very much even, very much slow paced, and again, first blood not coming for a while, Joe. Although I say that, we are only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, we've seen worse today, that's for sure. 20-minute first blood earlier on. Actually, Severus here, you can see, taking a bit of damage once again. As Deman mentioned, he's got no pots left with him. Obviously, does have summon heal in case that is needed. The last E from Zimmy actually missed him completely. Meanwhile, up at top, what's going on there? Usual face bashing in that respect. And there is the E to land. And he actually gets away into the brush before he can connect with too much damage. But Severus living in the fast lane, so to speak. He's staying low the whole time. Not really too worried about. I mean, he's got a good ward here from Janna, which we'll see if Mundo comes in from the top side or from that tri-bush side as well. Meanwhile, Warwick has gone home. No magic mantle picked up as his first buy, along with ward and more pots. Mundo there was covering middle as well as No Equal came home with the tier and one of each ward, actually. A pink ward there as well, so he's going to be looking to root out maybe this ward here that's down by the ramp on his side of the race. Won't surprise me to see that one going in there. Let's have a look at the CS now that it's developed a little bit. Actually, up at top there, having another little bit of an encounter. But that shouldn't really turn into much of anything. But yeah, in the middle, Ryze 55 to the 62 of Twisted Fate. So Twisted Fate having that slight advantage. Bottom lane, 39 for Kennen to the 66, wow, of Urgot. So Urgot's got a nice little lead built up on this bottom lane. Has just gone home, though, so we can expect Kennen with, I think, 1.5, maybe even 2 full waves of minion there coming in onto his turret. Should be able to pull that one back. Up at top, Gibfochen, who's obviously been heavily harassed. 25 CS to 63. That is a huge amount already, Demon.
Indeed. Gibfochen has had that lane pushed quite heavily, though. And honestly, I'm not too sure how well this is going to work out. But, you know, he was harassed, remember, for a while with Nocturne. But whether he's just been missing the last hits, I'm not too sure, because he's always been in there. I don't know whether he's just not able to make the hits, but yeah, it is a huge difference. It's a 40 CS difference, which you would not expect to see. And it could be a problem. Here we go, Twisted Fate coming in, first blood, almost imminent, as Gibfochen tries to dodge away. Wild card through. Akiyoso says, thank you very much. And just as we were highlighting it, it is very much a difference in that lane. Huge difference. And Sleazy Weezy, while he's been on that tower the whole time, has been last hitting like a boss. Yeah, and, you know, people are, I'm sure, going to say, well, for a gank between these guys, it's going to take at least 2 of these ultis with Twisted Fate and Nocturne to go in, if not Shen then to portal down as well. Look at this, nFaculty thinking now that they can take this Dragon. Actually, they're there with 4, but logiX are going to come in. Dragon, though, has been taken. Severus going to get his ulti off, but he was also caught there. Soraka bot caught inside of the Dragon Pit, though, and that's going to be a kill. And to be honest with you, you know, they've lost out on Dragon there, but it's not hampered them that much. I mean, they're still ahead in the gold anyway, even after losing out on the Dragon. So I'd say logiX don't mind that too much with getting 2 kills from it. Yeah, they should have got more, but like you say, Severus got that room prison on him just as he popped his ulti, which was just went, I can't move. I've got my ulti running, and I've just been completely frazzled in the spot there. So Fami taking a couple of shurikens to the face there. Not going to worry too much about that one. Could get stunned up in a minute, though, by Severus. And Severus now starting to push it. This is what we saw before. Severus playing Kennen versus Cogmore went very, very aggressive. He was down on the CS earlier, still is, 20 CS down. But as mentioned, that top lane definitely a big difference. Mid lane's pretty equal between these two, ironically named No Equal. And against Akioso, but Akioso, as we've already seen, is going to start zipping around the map. Has got 2 kills already, has got the Rabadon's death cap under construction already. The Needsley Large Rod, the big important part of that. And in terms of gold, he is quite far ahead. It's 400 gold already over Ryze, despite the fact they're even with the CS. So big difference there. Shen as well on that top. Well, we've already mentioned it. He's in a huge lead over Gipfuchin so far. But he will be able to farm it back up. But Sleazy Weezy's just going to continue farming the whole way through this game. So it's going to be very hard to stay true to him, as it were. Sleazy Weezy already got that Giant's Belt on there and the Merc Tread. Gipfuchin, in the meantime, hasn't really been able to build anything. He had to go for the Chalice to try and keep his mana up so he could lifesteal away.
Yeah, and for those guys that are wondering why they, in quotation marks, put the quality down on the German stream, they didn't actually, as I mentioned before in the stream, it wasn't actually 720p quality. It was just a problem or some kind of bug with the Twitch stream that was showing the 450p quality in 720p resolution. So yeah, that's why it got removed. I guess they fixed that up in the little break that they had. I say little, it was actually 2.5, nearly 3 hours. But you know, little is what I'm going to call it for now. But yeah, Severus now be left alone in this bottom lane. We've seen Urgot go home. Triple Doran's Blade plus the Brutalizer picked up. And Twisted Fate, are they going to go for... Oh, it looked like they were fancying Gipfuchin again. Kaizo actually just started to move his way north there. And that's got to be a telling sign for nFaculty. They've got to watch out for that. When Twisted Fate leaves his lane, that has a very high possibility that he is going to end up portaling somewhere. And so far, obviously, he does have 2 kills for 0. Steven said Needlessly Large Rod already up, which makes him all that more scary. Only on half HP, though, and you saw No Equal charging in for a bit of a go on him. While down at bottom, Janna has gone back and left Severus here.
Bottom lane's ripe for a gank right now.
Yeah.
You've got to remember that Shen can also join the party, so you can have 4 people down that bottom lane instantly. And I think Kennen's just been holding the lane. He's been freezing it just so purposely that Zimmy's having to come far up there. So I think it's... and honestly, actually, they could have 5 down there very quickly, because Nocturne could come zipping in from so far, Twisted Fate can come in from a long range, and Shen also can come in. They're going to pick up the blue buff, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that bottom lane yet. And Zimmy, I think, has realised it. As soon as the call came out from Ryze saying, Twisted Fate's just kind of backed out of view here, guys. You might want to be a little bit careful in your lane.
Yeah, and he's actually gone away for blue this time, which is going to make him that little bit happier. I'm assuming that the blue over on the nFaculty side will be due up in a matter of moments. And this bottom lane, as you mentioned, Severus, I think that's the best option that they've got there, to be honest. Try and draw the nFaculty bottom lane up towards them. They know that they've got this ultra mobile ganking team, and Gipfuchin was actually just stood there still for a second. I was hoping that he wasn't disconnected, and he isn't disconnected, so that's always a good thing. Mid lane, Twisted Fate is actually heading down low, so this is where we could see something happening, with Nocturne waiting here inside of the middle. And what is going to be the plan? Interesting. Yeah, this is definitely a plan. This is a move that they go in. Here comes the ulti, and it is going down into his bottom lane. Stun card is going to go out onto Fami. Is this kill going to come around? He is getting the heals. Uses his ulti heal as well. It's not enough, though. Oh, and it's gone to that AP carry once again, who's going to come in for a bit more action. This time it goes on to Severus. Kill for the AP carry. Kill for the AD carry. Kills all around. That's 4-0 to logiX, who, we said in the group stage team, and they were unbeaten. 9 games, 9 wins. The semi-final wasn't quite so easy for them, though. They could have ended up losing that game, that's for sure. But this time, this composition that they've gone with, a kind of global ganking team, is working out so very, very nicely for them so far. And to be honest with you, when you're nFaculty, what do you do? What do you do in this point?
Akiosa's going to get caught. He's going to get caught out. Brilliant flash. Brilliant. nFaculty was literally about to put the Rune Prison on his face. Flashed out of it. What do you do? I don't know, but we definitely saw it coming, didn't we? As soon as Twisted Fate had sort of backed off. And Severus, again, doing just like he did in the third match against Peculiar Gaming, not pushing that bottom lane, just taking out, getting the kills. Quite happy to continue farming against Urgot, despite the fact he's actually pulled it back. He was 20 CS behind, remember, he's pulled it back, so that kill has given that slight advantage again, taking away the jungle as well. 3-0-1 Twisted Fate already. This could go south very quickly, just like it did for logiX against Twisted Fate on Peculiar Gaming. They realised the dragon is up this time. logiX had gone back. They were trying to prepare for this one. Didn't quite have the timing down on it, though. nFaculty is going to force on towards Shen there. Shen's going to dive in towards Soraka bot. Who's going to pick up the dragon? It will be nFaculty that got the dragon. Severus seems to be the target, but it doesn't matter. Twisted Fate takes down Soraka. Soraka bot also going to go down just to confuse things, and Zimmy will back away from this one. There is a ward placement there that gave them vision of that one. nFaculty uses that Rune Prison to just back them off. So 5-man logiX, pick up 2 kills, didn't get the dragon. I think they'd be happy with that one. 6-0, and that gold advantage 16 minutes in. Now they definitely have the timing on it.
Yeah, I mean, last time it was first blood plus the second kill, lost the dragon, and this time they've picked up 2 kills for it. I don't think they really mind that whatsoever. And doing such a great job so far. We saw there Shen just kind of adding a little bit of doubt into the minds of nFaculty there as he was just dancing around by that dragon. Then the rest of the team came in. Could have gone a lot worse for them. Did manage to get that Rune Prism off, as you say, at the end. Otherwise, it could have been a little bit different here. As Akioso is actually going to get pressured down, and he's going to die here. It's gone to Gipfudgeon, which, you know, a kill's a kill, but nFaculty really could have done with having that one in Ryze to take on his later
that was waste.
Huh?
They put a ignite on when he had about 20 hit points left. It's like, really? Did you need that? I think you were just trying to get the kill steal, weren't you? It was nFaculty that went for it. And actually, nFaculty kind of wanted the kill, like you say, but Gipfudgeon did pick it up. But a good usage of the stuns as well, because nFaculty waited with that runic prison until the Warwick ulti was about to wear out, then bang, straight down on him, couldn't get away from that one. Severus down the bottom causing problems continually for Zimmy this time. Zimmy was strong early on. Remember though, Severus coming into that lane with half hit points has sort of been on the back for ever since, but this time with the support Twisted Fate and those early ganks with Shen, is suddenly feeling a lot more confident, and I think nFaculty have realised they've got to be a lot more careful about this tricky little Yordle jumping around, throwing shurikens at them and causing all sorts of problems. He's farming away quite happily, and it's going to become problems. Zimmy is trying his best to lock on and do as much as he can, but it didn't go for the Manamune or anything like that, Tear of the Goddess, so really is lacking in the mana, so he can't really land too much. Pings go down, they spot nFaculty walking past that Tribush ward, and they will back away. Zimmy again getting caught up this time, and nFaculty just wasting time, honestly, going around looking for it, trying to get that kill, but unfortunately it wasn't going to come. Akioso farms away meanwhile, 134 to 158 mid. It's close, but Joe, 4-1-2 says it all for me.
Yeah, that 4-1-2 makes him a lot scarier. And he's gone for the Boots of Lucidity as well. So, you know, his stun card, it's a long stun, to be fair. That stun card from Twisted Fate with the cooldown reductions on. Actually, he can end up getting pretty ridiculous in terms of how often he can stun you and for how long it comes in. You're almost like perma-stunned when you take a couple of steps away. So that's something that you got to look out for. Meanwhile, we see Zimmy will finally be porting himself home. I guess he's got a good chunk of gold. Yeah, up to around about 900, and puts in the armor, first of all. There's something which he's probably going to need against Kennen, because his auto attacks are really starting to annoy this Urgot on that tower. And Severus having no real problems of, you know, timing the tower shots and getting in there, getting the auto attack off, getting back in, getting back out again. Meanwhile, up at top, it's got to that stage where they're not really doing that much to each other. It's more of a case of keeping on top of the farm and trying to disrupt your opponent from the farm as much as possible. Meanwhile, bottom lane is pretty much frozen. Severus just waiting and literally only last hitting, as he takes 2 hits to take down that last one. But still, Akaiso has done a great job of bringing his farm back, 171 to 153 now. And he's going to continue on that route, because we have seen Ryze move over, picking himself up the blue. And Akaizo is going to go back. How much gold has he got? 1,800 gold. So, he's going to finish off that Rabadon straight away. Dangerous.
Dangerous stuff indeed. So Severus pushing this bottom lane. Has taken a hit. Does actually start to throw a couple of shurikens at it. So he is going to take some of the turret down this time, feeling it's time to. So whether that's the case of the team said, right, okay, time to finish off the turrets, let's start pushing them down. Middle lane, meanwhile, is a long way up, and Shen's really not touched that top turret. So despite the fact they've pretty much won out the lanes, Rabadon's death cap, by the way, just been completed by Twisted Fate there. That's going to be an interesting one to keep our eye on, because nFaculty, well, he's doing a pretty good job. He's got that Tier, Glacial Shroud, and the Catalyst, so he's got a lot of damage on him as well. Let's see how much that Q is doing actually at the moment. Let's have a look towards it. 100, so it's 380, so that's not bad. That's not bad, the amount of damage coming out from nFaculty as well. So Twisted Fate will get matched for that. The wildcards will be hurting though, as not half as much as that though. They're definitely not doing... Let's have a look. I know it is. I'll tell a lie. I can't add up. 260 plus 182. 440 something. 442, I would say, is the word I'm after. Shen at the top there. He's pushing on towards... And again, look, you can see he's not taking the lane. This is something logiX have done pretty much in all their lanes. It's a dominant thing. nFaculty trying to set up for this dragon here and trying to clear them out. Put a pink ward down. They do manage to clear out the ward. So vision taken away. Twisted Fate going to get caught out here. Akioso surely going to get absolutely popped. Destroyed where he stood. Didn't even get a chance to move. I think he tried to use his ulti to get away from that one, didn't he? No, Destiny is still available, actually. So he didn't go for it. He just tried to get out of there. Shen wasn't going to help him. Sleazy Weezy will take the top turret, though. So I'd take a top turret for a dragon any day.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one as well. Akioso standing fairly aggressive position. I guess he didn't feel any kind of pressure there that he was in any immediate danger, which would explain the position that he was in, obviously. But this dragon is going to be taken out very quickly by nFaculty. Now we'll bring them back to almost 3k now is the difference. And Severus has now come back into his lane. Sleazy Weezy is headed down bottom, but for a while we've not seen these ganks happening, and that's something that, I asked the question, what do nFaculty actually have to do against this kind of global ganking lineup that we've got for logiX? And I think the point of it is just play safe, Demon.
Yeah, then you just play on the turrets, play at your base, and it's only going to really affect them heavily in the lane phase, because the global ganking doesn't really matter when you're in full 5-man packs. They can try and global gank all they like, but there's going to be 5 of you there. So it's only at this early stage, and that's often the problem that, say, I don't know, you'd be solo queuing or doing your duo queues or whatever. If you're against the global gank team, you simply play safe in the lane phase, and you're not really going to be worried about it in the late game. But obviously, you are going to worry about it if you suddenly start losing a 5v5. They're going to catch up with you. There's no escaping. Simple as that. But if you're already at that phase, it's game over anyway. logiX are really driving home their advantage. This is something they couldn't do against Peculiar, but they have been caught out a few times here, and it's been Kifuchin actually catching on and popping his ulti, followed by a nice Ryze Rune Prison, which has been causing the problems for him because it's just basically locking you down. Severus being caught out a little bit there. He's going to continue the damage on towards Fami. Actually a dive there, and well, good flash around actually, but nFaculty surely going to get caught out. There will be the Twisted Fate coming in. Where will he go? Down the bottom actually. Akioso, he's going to go towards Zimmy. Zimmy trying to put a lot of damage out there, and good blowback from Janna there, keeping them away, keeping them safe, keeping nFaculty away from it. As soon as he limited range on them spells, just blew him completely out of it. He's going to try and catch on towards Severus, but they just don't have the damage to be able to burst it out. Twisted Fate, who was the lowest one, got completely saved, and fantastic ultis from logiX there across the board. Honestly, it was great teamwork again.
Yeah, and again, Akioso, he fell low, and instead of going for the initial target, Zimmy there to finish that off, he actually put the stun card down onto Ryze to stop him from getting that prism onto him before he could escape from that. So, great kind of awareness from Akaiso for doing that, and they're pushing, as you said, this advantage home. That was the just as I said, we've not seen it for a while, this whole global gank thing, and they then come straight in to the bottom. You can pretty much guarantee when Nocturne does it, then Shen and Twisted Fate are not far behind. But look at this in middle, no equal there. Actually, does have that Banshee's Veil now built up, and that means that Akaiso's first spell is well, useless basically. which means he's either got to throw out the wild card. Obviously, he doesn't want to use his stun card onto that because it's just a waste of time. So that's not always an easy decision. And nFaculty taking away now everything from their jungle. Obviously, they've lost the bottom turret. They've lost the upper turret as well. They're actually just pinging Janna here at logiX. They think trying to warn her to don't you even dare think about getting caught out right now. We cannot afford to be losing these kills because while it is a 6-kill advantage, it's only 4k in gold, and this could change really quickly, especially now as we see this middle turret going down and nFaculty taking it with ease, and there's nothing at all that logiX can do about that one. And you know, they've lost their 2 outer turrets of nFaculty, but still taking down this middle turret cripples the vision of logiX.
Yeah, and they didn't even respond to that. Everyone just happened to have gone back and bought. Now Sleazy's going to be aware that they are a team coming towards him. He's going to back off, pushing that lane. Like I said before, this is the split push farming he's going to do. He's now got a 50 CS advantage over Gipfuchin. That is huge right now. But we are seeing the first Frozen Heart coming out for Urgot. So Urgot's going to be very tanky. And Blood Dragon clearing out. And that pings, I think, were really about Intox saying, protect that Oracle you are carrying. And he is clearing out those wards. Sleazy coming across to help him out. There is a ward just up the river that he hasn't managed to find. Can they do the same thing? You know what? I think they can. They will take this mid turret down without any pressure. And nFaculty did exactly the same problem that logiX just did, and all backed at the same time and left it free and easy. So that is all the outer turrets completely down for nFaculty, and just the one at the bottom, which is pretty full health actually, to be fair, for logiX. But even stuff still. 3-2, 8-2 the kills. But honestly, when it comes to a team fight, I still think it could be pretty close because Soraka bot's going to be in their face. He's causing a lot of problems. He's got a lot of health. Warwick's got a lot of health. Urgot's got a lot of health. And Ryze again has got a lot of health. This is the same problem we said before in the MTW game. There was no easy kills other than, say, Fami, who's just going to heal and ulti heal. So, you know, actually, other than the global ganks, which they've been doing, which has given them this advantage, it could get tricky for them when the team fights start.
Yeah, once these team fights start to happen, which with these outer turrets down, it's definitely that kind of time already. Now that they start ending up facing each other in bushes and especially around these dragon fights, actually Shen doing Shen's best bit, which is that split push. We can see him pushed over there already. Actually, nFaculty start to work their way in here. Soraka bot will be the first one to work in. And Shen is continuing to push. nFaculty now need to either deal with Shen or push something on this middle. Actually, Gipfuchin's gone in there. Ulti's going to come out from Kennen, but it's pretty much only on Warwick. Yeah, and they've popped the Janna ulti. They didn't feel comfortable with this situation, but they're going to go for it anyway, as Shen will now portal in to make this a 5v4. Kai'Sa has been switched out by Urgot, and that is the first kill of this big fight. They're now switching over onto Severus. He's got the shield on, uses summon to heal, but it's not enough. He actually got the kill onto Mundo in the process, but that is a 2-for-1 in favor of nFaculty. And Deman, we saw there how hard it was for logiX to actually take anyone down in that team fight. Is that just the start of things going bad for logiX now?
Indeed, that's exactly what we talked about there, wasn't it? Shen did have to ulti in, but a great flash engaged there by Warwick. Gipfuchin just flashed straight on their faces, and he's immediately gone straight to pick up that dragon. So they're going to take full advantage of this one. 2 kills for, I think it was 2-for-1, wasn't it, exchange, and the dragon's going to follow it, and that's just like you said. And also, in amongst there was the awesome Urgot split, which I completely forgot about. Completely destroying Twisted Fate, pulled him straight in the pack, and they all said, right, I've got him, bang, kill, insta-death for Akoso. So he's going to be in trouble, but logiX's going to react to this one and going for a quick Baron. This is good. Oh, there we go. Twisted Fate comes in to join them as well. They have a 4-man on the Baron, 5-man up, and they're going to take this without nFaculty doing anything about it. Vision-wise, no clue whatsoever.
Yeah, Soraka bot's actually working his way in there, but I think this Baron is going to go down before he gets into range of it. Janna actually just trying to keep him away, and there is the Baron picked up. And after losing those 2 men for 1, logiX will now be feeling a lot more confident with that Baron buff on them. The question is, how are they going to be able to utilize it? Is it one of those Barons that, you know, is not necessarily in the plan and part of the push, if you like? It was just opportunities there. Let's take it. We might as well take it. Shen now just pushing that lane off, actually backs away. I'm not sure, did they spot them coming up there? There was this wall, but I'm not sure that they went north enough, really, from their position. towards Shen that he really had anything to worry about. But they have been back home now. And Twisted Fate, Lichbane on top of the Rabadon's Death Cap. What else do we have? Frozen Mallet, Recurve Bow. Working up towards Wit's End there is Nocturne. He's also got Regal's Lantern, of course, complete. With Kennen, Phantom Dancer, and all 3 items apart from the finish there of the Infinity Edge as well. So Kennen's going to start to become a little bit of a problem for them as well. You know, the thing is, Urgot's not really got that much into things, but Demon, if he can get that ulti off like we saw there to really initiate things nice, you know, he's tanky enough anyway, and with the team that nFaculty have got, the problem is it takes them so long to kill them that actually Ryze is getting 3-4 combos off, and that means that the team's shred to pieces.
Yeah, and they're picking the spells well as well. For example, Ryze is always room prisoning on towards Severus, which is causing him problems straight away. They're engaging and really taking Twisted Fate down very, very quickly, dealing with him. So immediately Twisted Fate's taken out of the picture. Like we mentioned, Urgot's switching him up and Fortune diving in on someone. So they're really working it well as a team nFaculty, which is probably why they've got into this finals in the first place. Is they were just tremendous. They went through 2-0 in the semi-finals. I think it was 2-0 in the quarterfinals as well. And they've really proved previously as homeless that they have it. Shirelia's revenue's been popped in. Fortune wants to get on someone. Doesn't get caught out though because the Q coming out from Nocturne forces him to back away. Shen continues to take down that bottom turret though, and there you go. Minions will finish the job. So they've picked up the kill there, picked up the turret while this is all going on. Shirelia's Reverie was used. Janna has got a Shirelia's of their own, but they don't want to go for it. So it's a flat-out engagement nFaculty need. They need that initiation, that big hit, and it is Fortune they're using for that because honestly they've got not a lot of range at all.
Yeah, and the thing is, Shen is farming, pushing. This top lane is actually going to be back onto that base tower very shortly. We can see the rest of the logiX team are now pushing in onto that inner turret in the middle as well. And Shen, you know, he pretended, okay, I'm going to back away from this one. Then they left to go back to middle, and then Shen comes straight back in.
Surprise!
And it's going to happen time and time again. Warwick's going to clear one lane. Actually, Warwick, I'm not sure really what he's going to aim for there, chasing after Shen, to be quite honest, but at least try and bully him out of the lane. And I think without Warwick in the picture, you know, the 4 that they've got there, obviously Shen will portal straight in there. If they can force Warwick to have to split off and stop Shen, then that's going to be a big factor in this one, because obviously nFaculty are nowhere near as mobile as logiX are, as they realise that their bottom turret is actually being annihilated by minions at this point.
They're trying to cut them off, and nFaculty actually spotting the fact that the whole team had gone south because they walked past that ward and quickly trying to bum rush in towards that turret. Can they take it? They've used Shirelia's Reverie to try and get in there, and well, you can see logiX are going to come around the backside. The wildcard comes across. Howling Gale doesn't really interrupt them too much. They will dive in this time. It seems to be Future they're diving for. Good Janna ulti knocking them all back in towards that turret. Got to be careful though, the damage is not really coming out properly. They are going to land towards Future. A good Soraka, the Star Call as well, really shredding them down. Severus will get ripped apart. Akioso's trying his best to stay at range, but the damage again, not focused this time. Intox is going to surely find himself, well out of position there. Oh, Urgot's going to try and finish off Akioso. He's down to nothing. Switches across, wildcard across, does take him down. And again, the damage still not working very well. Sleazy Weezy had been back to get a Guardian's Angel, but nFaculty again proving in a big solid fight, they are far, far stronger. Very nicely played, and they just split them apart. There was no damage, no focus.
Yeah, no focus, but again, it's this big tanky team, you know. You've got, when you look at a normal team composition, you look at the AD carry, high damage, but never really, you know, always that little bit squishy. Urgot's not that AD champion, you know. He's tanky anyway by nature. You've got Mundo there, who, well, he's just Mundo, no real explanation needed. Warwick, high HP. Ryze also, real high HP, and he's actually got in there Frozen Heart, Tear of the Goddess, Banshee's Veil. He's just actually gone for Will of the Ancients in there as well, just to add to things. And to be quite honest with you, I don't fancy logiX from this point. I think their strength was in that early game with the gank ability that they've got set up across the team. I think one thing that's going to be very important for them now is to get Kennen well fed up. He's got Infinity Edge, he's got Phantom Dancer, but he needs more. He needs to be building higher than that, and he needs to stay safe in the team fights. They've got to protect him.
Yeah, and when I say no damage, what I mean is they are just tanking through it. There's simply not enough. They are
not enough damage.
They've got a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. There's an amazing amount of damage there, but it wasn't focused damage. And honestly, who is the weak target? No equal, possibly? Well, he's got a Frozen Heart and a Giant's Belt and a Banshee's Veil. Soraka bot? I don't think so. Not going to go for Mundo, are you? He's going to pop that ulti and just laugh at you. Gifuchin, life steals it all back. He's got a lot of hit points as well there. With that Shirelias as well, just to help him out. And Zimmy, well, he's got a Frozen Heart, Guardian Angel. Which really are you going to go for? Well, you're going to go for Fami. Well, great. Well done. You've took down the support.
And then you're all dead.
You've still got 4 people beating on you, yeah. So it's honestly that this is the problem. We talked about it when it was 8-2, and now at 6-11, they are slowly but surely clawing their way into this one. The advantages has been taken by logiX, and yes, they've had the initiative, they've had the great lane phase, but honestly, I think it could have done with a better lane phase. And from a 4-1-3, I think it was at one point, we've gone 4-4-6 already in Twisted Fate, so he's been unable to really close out those kills. Quicksilver Sash is being picked up this time, though, by logiX, which is a wise choice. They have to get away from that Urgot ulti. The Ryze, the Ryze runic prison's been causing them problems, and now we are setting up for a Baron. And wow, they're just going to say have 50 gold. Yeah.
Throw the ward straight in on top of them, and there's a pink ward right there. No problem whatsoever. Are nFaculty going to kick it off? Yes, they are. They've started this. They're going to see that logiX coming in. They've peeled off with a couple. In fact, they're all going to peel off, and there's Shirelias Reveille popped. Who are they going to go in for first? It looks like Blood Dragon is the focus. This time, Fami's going very low, and he seemed to be indeed the target that they were going for, but is that going to be enough from him? It certainly looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Twisted Fate does go down, and logiX looking like they may just have this one here. And, well, it's a very even and a long fight there. They've managed to take down that AD carry of Zimmy, and, well, Warwick goes down as well. And I tell you what, logiX,
brilliant.
After we talked about that, their targeting was brilliant. They've lost just Twisted Fate, and the rest of them, to be quite honest with you, Demon, look at their HP.
Yeah, and Twisted Fate, before dying, hit his R, had the wisdom to use that ulti, so they couldn't use the bushes as just dodging cover. So immediately they were all visible. Very, very nice play there. And as you mentioned, they took Fami down. He suddenly couldn't heal off the rest of his team, couldn't use them silencers in there, and did cause them problems. So certainly maybe they've just thought, right, okay, that's it, fine, Soraka's going to die every time. And again, second Baron for logiX there. The question is, can they convert this one? They didn't make a great deal of use with the last one. Their bottom lane just about being saved there by Severus. Top lane being farmed up. Sleazy Weezy on a mission, going to be hitting 300 CS very soon.
Yeah, and the thing is, Blood Dragon's really fed. I didn't notice that before. 509 now. You know, Frozen Mallet, Wit's End, Wriggle's Lantern. He's going to have a ton of cash. Yeah, almost 3k. Where's he going to go in for next? Obviously, yeah, it's going to be an Atmos. No real surprise to that one. Obviously got the extra health there coming from that Frozen Mallet as well. And, well, logiX with the Baron, like you say, they had the first one, but we talked about this before, that not all Barons are really that much part of the plan. They're just a kind of, okay, they've gone back now. This is a good time for us to take a Baron away. And, you know, you may not even be in that good of a position to really push the advantage home. This time, though, I do feel they are. This top lane, obviously, is right down to the base turret. The outer turret on the, the inner turret on both the bottom and the middle lane. And that's where they can start really doing some damage. Right now, they're just having to be forced to clean out the lanes that were pushed from before. And then I assume that logiX are going to be going about something, because this is the biggest criticism we had of logiX, Demon. In game number 2, they had such a massive lead in that semi-final, such a lead that they should have driven home probably 10, maybe even 15 minutes before they did it. And that was the real problem for us with logiX.
Yeah, indeed it was. They just didn't seem to realise the advantage they had. But they are, I would say, still not secure in a big team fight. Yes, they came out on top of that last one. They probably are at the moment. They've got Baron. They need to make use of this one. Shen's actually got quite a bit more damage on him now as well. He's shipping back on that Frozen Mallet to go with what he'd already got. And like you mentioned, 509 on that Nocturne. He is actually causing problems now. He'd got the Frozen Mallet and Atmars built up there, along with the Wriggles, so really can do quite a chunk of damage. to go with it. And as has been pointed out, that Urgot is lacking a little in damage. However, Kennen definitely is not. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, definitely those shurikens are going to be hurting now. And of course, don't forget Twisted Fate with a massive amount of damage. So it's really like high damage team versus high tanky team at the moment. And at the moment, it's been pretty much 1-1 in terms of team fights. Maybe 2-1 to nFaculty, which is why logiX are still being a little bit cautious here. The Baron not on Akioso because he was the only one that died. The rest of the team certainly have it, so they're going to try and make use of it. Shen continuing to push. This is the ultimate split push. This is how they're making use of it. Continuing on that bottom lane. Now he's going to start drilling it down. And they're actually doing a lot of damage. You can see how much he's beating that down with that siege minions with him, while the rest of the team just keep nFaculty occupied. Here we go. Shirelia's Reverie was popped. They didn't manage to catch it in time. And, well, Conversion, you're too late. They've just lost another turret. So this is exactly working in logiX's favour. They are just split pushing their way to victory.
Yep, and Shen, again, using his usual trick there, Sleazy, backing away from it and then coming straight back in to clear the next wave of minions just when nFaculty think he's gone. Sleazy, obviously, is going to be pushed away now by Gibfutchen, and this is a position where, okay, they're on a turret, so maybe not, but this is a position where you can initiate because, you know, Warwick is away. If you go in there, it's 4v4, and then Shen's on top of you as well, and you'll find yourself all of a sudden in that 5v4 situation. And when Warwick leaves, guess what? Shen comes straight back into the bottom lane, and tactically, logiX are really, really strong.
Yeah, they are very strong. So they've taken 2 turrets down for that Baron so far, just purely from split pushing. Gibfutchen and Sleazy actually haven't an engage this time, so we're going to see who really is the strongest between these two. They want a quick open engage. Sleazy didn't fancy that one. Gibfutchen yet wisely is going to back away. Ooh, needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Spotted the rest of nFaculty were making their way down, which is why Sleazy just backs off. Reese gains all that health straight back though on the golems and gets it back. Twisted Fate going to have to go deal with that top lane because that was pushed heavily. Oh, Blood Dragon just getting caught out there. Dragon's being picked up. Does Flash get my words out. Flash exhaust there. Gibfutchen is going to dive in for them. I'm not too sure this is the engage that logiX wanted, but they're going to have to take it anyway. Severus is going to try and land it. Quicksilver Sash is out there. They're going to go towards Fami again. Fami does go down at the backside there. Severus continuing on towards Soraka, but with that ulti running, can they get the damage across? Twisted Fate now going to join the party straight up towards No Equal. No Equal takes a big chunk of damage straight away. Ryze is almost certainly going to drop down. The question is, can Severus hang in there? No, he can't. Twisted Fate comes back in there. logiX continue to work the way down, but Akioso is going to have to flash out. Urgot going to keep that lock on him. He will back away. And I think they're going to happily take a 2-for-2 exchange. nFaculty feel they can get more. They can see the blood center on Akioso. Akioso trying desperately. He's got to stun him up on the skies. Stun him, man. Stun him. Finally, lastsecond.com coming out there. And he does ulti onto it. Quicksilver Sash, but I don't think it's going to be enough around that turret. You cannot guide him around there. And now you can see Gibfutchen's going to straight away go towards that open inhibitor. And Intox is going to have to back away from this one. Sleazy Weezy can't do enough damage. And again, proven nFaculty have the damage, and he did force the engage this time. logiX weren't quite in a position. I don't think logiX really wanted that engage, but remember, logiX had the Baron.
Yeah, logiX had the Baron, and they, you know, for me, a little bit of being caught out of position there by Blood Dragon, tried to get himself out of there, but in the end, it was actually the initiation which came from Fami, from Soraka. She flashed in, and no, it wasn't just the banana that she threw at him that was important. It was the exhaust that went down as well. And that was the point where logiX either said, okay, do we back off here and let him go down and, you know, certain death, or do we try and fight this one in a bad position? And for me, sometimes it's better to maybe just back off and say he's been caught out of position. Maybe we should leave him.
Indeed, and possibly that was what they should have done there, but the rest of the team sort of went off. And honestly, Severus is still not really landed that ulti, but got to remember he's AD Kennen, not AP Kennen, so he doesn't want to get in their faces with that Maelstrom. But wisely just sticks off and uses his auto attacks, really, which is what he's all about. And that is the big argument, I guess, against Kennen. You know, so much better as an AP rather than AD, but does work in both ways. And honestly, you got to give credit to Riot for the beauty of the game, that it does allow for these characters to be played either way. And honestly, all these pro players still can't decide in which is the best method. So, what are they going to do? How are they going to reply? They've just lost another team fight to nFaculty. They are so strong in terms of tankiness. They did take down No Equal. They did take down Fami, but they were the two weak links eventually. And honestly, they're just getting stronger and stronger. Now they have more damage to go with it. Nocturne is going to dive. He went in towards no equal. Can they manage to finish him off? You can see Severus going to try and target on towards as well. Soraka bot taken down pretty low actually this time. Intox does use that ulti to force him away. Fami will get picked up. You can see Blood Dragon continuing to stick to him like glue. They'll finally finish him off. Well, the follow though, Kifuchin actually taken down pretty low there. They're going to try and target towards Akioso. Akioso is going to get locked down by Zimmy. The flash around away from Intox there. Intox will get taken down by the Blood Center. The proc that was running on him. This time, no, Blood Dragon continues to do damage. No equal will Rune Prison on towards Blood Dragon. Blood Dragon gets finished off by Sleazy Weezy. Sorry, by no equal. And now Sleazy Weezy will go down. That Guardian Angels will flash just about in time. And Zimmy says, hell no, you're not going anywhere, son. I'm keeping you down, and you are going to get that blood to that Guardian Angels popped. He doesn't get the lock on, dodged it. Doesn't dodge the second time, though. And there is Guardian Angel popping. And again, for the third time running, nFaculty come out stronger in a team fight. This time engaged on logiX's terms. And honestly, now I fear for them.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed there as well, Kennen ulted in. I was watching him purposely through that fight, and actually he didn't hardly have a chance to get off any auto attacks. They were focusing him so hard, he knew that he had to move away. Couldn't stay there, had to Maelstrom away, and by the time you've done that, you're losing the main chunk of damage, you know, in terms of their DPS. Comes a lot from Kennen. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper. A lot of damage that has to come. You can see him there clearing minions, and he's critting every single one almost for 700. And if he's not doing that damage in terms of the team fight, he's certainly not doing it with his ulti. I mean, what damage does it do? 210 right now? Someone made a point in chat there. You know what, Kennen? You've got plenty of items. Time to sell them all and go AP.
Good shout.
Never seen that in a game. That'd actually be an interesting strat.
When you look at it, they've not really got a great deal of magic resist because they've all built AD defensive, so that they've got so much armor, it's not really doing a great deal across them. Can they take the Baron here? Can they get the steal in? I'm not too sure, and logiX really don't want to go for it. They are going to come across. We'll get the smite down. Not enough, though, and then nFaculty do pick it up. Surely that's going to leave Blood Dragon in all sorts of problems. He's giving left on towards Kifuchin there. Around the backside, no equal is going to get caught out. No equal will have Fami. Fami's been left to die there by logiX and by nFaculty. Now logiX picking off. That's how they need to fight at range. But Severus, wow, did you see how quick that damage burst went down in? No wonder he's running fearful for his life. That little poor logiX. Severus is going to get taken down. No equal, still trying to get picked on by Sleazy Weezy, but he does not have the damage. And the four-man team turn around and abandon their Shen, who dived in gallantly to try and save them. And logiX realised surely their goose is cooked. It is going to be time to back off and go home. And honestly, they've just lost an inhibitor to minions as well. Just a tower, to minions, just to rub salt in the runes.
Yeah, and yeah, like you say, there's a lot of armor in there. I mean, we've got, what, 2 Frozen Hearts now. There's a Randuin's Omen in there. The attack damage that they've got with them is not really being all that successful. As we saw the ultimate coming out there from Nocturne. We know nFaculty are going to be pushing this one in, and they've built up brilliantly in this game a tanky combination against a really effective combination early game. We saw those ganks working out very nicely for logiX. Focus the Nexus, damn it. Otherwise, you're going to not finish this game. There we go. Nexus is finished off just as Zimmy's Guardian Angel does get popped. And that is going to be game 1 going over to nFaculty. And what a game indeed. So much diversity in that game. We had this early phase where logiX were the strongest. We saw then the kind of mid-game where it got a little bit more even. And then there was this point where it kind of switched. And I think logiX were like, hey guys, we're not actually doing anything anymore in team fights. Nothing actually damages them.
Yeah, it's like, hello, we don't seem to be damaging them. We may have a problem here. We've focused the targets and they're still not dying. So, therefore, we could be in trouble. Yeah, so what a fantastic, fantastic game. So there, I mean, that